Hello, it's Brendan Wissinger, and we're going to, sorry I've been away. I've been doing homework for my classes and stuff like that, so, yeah, I've been busy with that, so I haven't had as much time to do these, but over the summer I'm going to have more time, so we are starting some new things. First, we're starting, a climate stories one. We're going to do the stories of different people with climate change. I have a, playlist also of videos that I've got of people that have been involved in natural disasters that are climate related, and that's one area that I've gotten. Another, or we're going to do ones that people that been hurt by the crisis as well. That through on my channel. Also, we're going to do ones on just short and concise, more simpler stuff about climate change and the climate crisis, stuff about activism, stuff about solving it, stuff about climate activism, stuff about the impacts and projections and all of that type of stuff. We're going to do more of them. So we're going to do shorter of them. So we're going to do that. So I've now edited my YouTube channel so it was more climate oriented. Yeah, we're going to do that. So today we're going to talk about research and what is needed to solve the climate crisis in research. Because we all like to say that we have all the technologies here, but the truth is not completely. We have most of the technologies, 85% at least, of technologies needed to decarbonize the economy, but there are some that we don't have. Now, we know what direction we need to go with them, mostly. Aviation sort of iffy with that. We know what direction we need to go with that. So, but we don't, but we have to get there. And to do that, we have to fund a lot in research. So the first area we're going to talk about is grid storage and electric vehicle storage. Now, currently, electric cars are able to go 200, 300, 400 miles on a single charge. Also, some of them can charge in 15 minutes, but not completely. And then we have grid storage. To be able to get to 100% renewable energy, we need to have grid storage to be able to compensate for the peaking power. Peaking power meaning the power that that the renewable energy, because it's variable, may not be able to supply. We can't just power that it's in the evening, or early in the morning, when we need a lot of power during that time. We need to be able to resupply that, and renewable energy isn't necessarily going to be able to supply all of that. So, to deal with that, we need more energy. We need to be able to store more energy. That's what these grid batteries are for. So to do this, we're going to fund over $150 billion. That's what the Apollo program would cost in today's dollars. About that much. So, its goal, it's going to be called Storage Shot. After, all of these are called something shot, pretty much. After Obama's program of the sun or solar shot, which got solar up and off the ground and made it the industry that it is today, pretty much. So, Storage Shot will have a go over commercializing technology that can provide energy lasting 24 hours for multiple days at a capital cost of lower than $1,000 a kilowatt to support renewable energy needed to phase out coal and natural gas plants. Also, the space have to go through to get a single charge about a 500 to get a single charge of electric car over 500 miles, and to decrease the cost of batteries in electric vehicles to at most $18,000, or decrease the cost of a new electric vehicle to at most $18,000. So, aviation shot. This will also be funded 150 billion. So basically, it's to try to get to zero carbon aviation, particularly jets. It's also going to be to try to get better fuel economy for aircraft and that sort of thing. So it'll be developing low carbon biofuels, synthetic fuels, and other fuels, hydrogen, whatever fuels that are carbon neutral or zero carbon, and try to get zero carbon aviation. So shipping shot. This is 125 billion. In this program, we'll do research into building zero carbon ships for shipping in other areas. And all of these are going to be led by the National Laboratories of the Department of Energy, pretty much. Or some of them, or ARPA-E, or some of them will be industry related, like the next one, and will be done through another organization called, or another agency we would set up, ARPA-I, for ARPA Industry. So, now the thing with shipping is we got mostly, for the shipping we got, hydrogen is probably the best option there. There aren't many, like, things with hydrogen ships, so short distances we can use electrical. But for long distances, we need something different. We need something that, some type of fuel and hydrogen, it looks promising for that. But there aren't many ships made of hydrogen, and it still needs work to be done there. So, for the next one is recycling shot. Its goal is to make pretty much everything be able to be recycled. Pretty much everything. That way we can recycle stuff and keep an economy that's circular. That way we're not wasting resources and stuff. And that way we're not wasting resources. So it will be 118 billion, and it will pay for more recycling centers across the U.S. It will pay for social campaigns to recycle more materials. And that sort of thing, like we did in World War II. And it will also fund research into recycling different materials. So the next one is also industry related. It's industry shot. This one will have 500 billion. Why so much? Because there's many different industrial processes for different things that need to be solved. And there are many different areas big ones, industrial heating. We don't necessarily have the technology to be able to, like, heat bricks exactly, or metal. We don't really have necessarily those technologies. So its goal is to try to find zero carbon technologies for that and make them economical. That's its goal. So, and try to increase efficiency of products, try to decrease the amount of material used in products, and that sort of thing. Increase carbon capture in industry, and this will also include creating an ARPA-I, an ARPA industry. ARPA is Advanced Research Projects Agency. There's DARPA, and there's ARPA-E. We're creating two more, ARPA-I and ARPA-Ag, which are for agriculture and for industry. So that's another thing. That's also an agriculture plan, so you'll see that as well. Thorium shot. This comes from Andrew Yang's climate plan. 75 billion. Basically, it funds research into thorium-powered molten salt nuclear reactors, which are safe, and fusion reactors, which are safer than the typical fission reactor, especially old ones. It will engage in a public relations campaign to update the reputation of nuclear reactors, and it will have a goal to have new nuclear reactors come online by 2027. That is coming from Andrew Yang's climate plan, and yeah. So, sequester shot. This goal, doesn't have, I don't think this is anybody's climate plan, which is sad. Its goal is to, it will be 150 billion to try to find ways to direct capture CO2 emissions in the air and sequester them. So it will be funding in the CCS. So it will its goal will be to get economical or something that the government can. I don't think private corporations will implement this, but something at least the government can, push on a wide scale to create a lot of sequestering plants. The next one is reassert U.S. leadership in research and engineering, marshaling research across the federal government and institutions of higher education, including the National Academy of Engineering, the National Science Foundation, the National Academies of Science, and everything else, trying to give them a higher place. And encouraging them more research. So the system will lower the bureaucracy and hassling of the government contracts so scientists, engineers, investors, and entrepreneurs can focus on innovating. And also, we will create more funding for climate research. We'll expand funding for climate research. We'll expand funding for meteorological research as an adaptation. We'll expand money for ecosystems and biological research, also as an adaptation. We'll expand more money, or we'll put more money into them to try to deal with the climate crisis. So ARPA Ag. So this will help with create better practices to create more higher yields, create better soil health, sequester more emissions, and be able to have a agriculture system that's able to adapt to different challenges. So create innovations in the agriculture, and it will focus on food, biofuels, GMOs, other things, many different areas, soil health, and everything else. So increasing better climate or farming practices, and yeah. So also we'll have funding into next generation transportation technologies, and continuing funding technology for recycling and development of batteries to power transportation, heavy duty trucks, short haul aviation, and that sort of thing. Investing in research for energy efficiency in aviation and shipping, which can be approved by 35 to 40%. Increasing our national renewable energy laboratory, the Office of Science, and other things in the Department of Energy, and re-engaging with international innovation partnerships, including the Clean Energy Ministerial Mission Innovation mission. Yeah. Increasing energy efficiency and everything else, that sort of thing. So we'll also be funding more into climate science programs, so to understand the dangers and the impacts of the climate crisis, to be able to know if we're on track or not, try to be able to quickly deal with this crisis. We need to know a lot of information about it. So, and the current administration wants to undermine all that stuff, which proves the point that they don't actually think that the science isn't settled, because if they thought the science isn't settled, they would try to fund more research into it. But that's not the case. They want to defund the stuff. So obviously it's not that. It's that they want to pretend they don't want to do anything on climate because it's their bottom line. So increasing investment in Earth science and the Earth system sciences, GMS mapping, and planetary observation systems. Integrating scientific data into new management tools and stewarding the integration of data assets will be enhanced by recognizing the environmental resources as vital assets across agencies. Increasing investment in NOAA, the USDA, the U.S. Geological Survey, FEMA, and in state climatological offices and natural resources and emergency management offices to understand the regional and localized impact of a changing climate. And also, we'll fund more climate education in schools. So, try to have schools that have in the curriculums, encourage in the curriculums people that understand or try through K to 12 and through colleges, classes that try to teach climate crisis and stuff, because many schools don't teach that. That sort of thing. Some things it's not even you're supposed to teach both sides, which there isn't both sides to it. So, yeah, and that's pretty much everything for research. So, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to me. See you next time. I hope you're doing well with this pandemic, and I hope um, getting by okay, because we all need each other right now. But please stay at home. See you. Thanks. Bye.